Mason, after her first birthday, Violet stopped sleeping through the night again. You never heard like away and sometimes not at all, but it felt like my eyes opened a few seconds before she met that first night from the crib down the hall. This unnerved me every time. Then I know that she was still so much physically part of me. Every time I said she cried before her bottle, after a few weeks, I ran up 6 of them full of milk cans. They all kept hoping she'd find one she wanted. She never did. Can do this, I think. Every time she woke up, I answered practice again. I went open the door of her and I put the bottle in her hand and leave. Isn't that bad of her bacteria having all that milk sitting on? Isn't that dangerous? You ask when you realize what I was doing. I don't know, but I probably was, but I didn't care. I just need her to back to sleep. That said, pen my eyes and my thought comes out. I avoid having to speak with the other article for film and make no sense. And resentment of you. But first off, I hate hearing you breathe deeply, and even when I came back to bed, and I sometimes stop at the seat in my house. It was you from the first I saw that you wanted to be. I will apply the option in daycare first few days a week. You said early on before I was even born that you didn't like the idea of daycare. Your mother had raised her children at home until they were 5 and went to school. You wanted the same for your own. It had I had agreed when I heartily with the things you thought perfect mother did, but that was before I took it upon a place. I walked away had spot open up was before I could have before I forgot it and they had camera in the room. Then I parents watch remotely. The truth that I often felt sad for the state baby when I saw and egg in those long stores. I would undertake stop pushing them around in the city for something to do, but there was no source to put the babies in daycare environment. Better socials must even accelerate development. Visit I sent you the article every so often but dinner for they could lead to emphasize the internal conflict you wanted me to have. Maybe if you had me must know. Maybe it's time. Other perhaps you better outcome one upset. What do you think? I asked for being concerned with you but not answering it. Why to be set on receiving better realism? You just start right now. I know it's hard. It will pass your head. And not to say this as you last one for you first got and you have first got I had to listen you sing some that morning. I was miserable, see, and I have what where it seemed. She was deadly unhappy when she was on with me. She wouldn't let me hold her anymore. She didn't want me near her. Most days she was irritable and troublesome. We were drawn and nothing could soothe her. She screamed so loudly when I picked her up, and that I could imagine the neighbors next to stomping that in their truck when we were public at the grocery store and the park. Tapi others put some in a sympathy, which if there was anything they could do have, I wasn't married. They pitied me either for having an better child, or even the kind of mother who looked too weak to survive life. We began staying home mostly. I thought I like about this when you return from work asking for daily podcast. See every kind of until you have confirmed for our but the Mansilos come around, I started working at myself into a most persuaded one and case for my first friends of think she somehow from out below seniorly cook herself. So sometimes when I discovered most then she would feel like a fish out of water and go sleep. Like she was dead my heart would stop her eyes would go wide and they would come scream from deep within her soul even that she made us sting with tears. I was so that she was mine. I knew some of her behavior will classify as typically what in offers being just a case further can stem the symptom of development like or not. I tried to convince myself, but she was missing the inherent sweetness of children of her age. She saw her use of affection. She didn't seem happy enough anymore as long a sadness inside her that sometimes looks physically painful. I could see. in her face. We joked about the real life with other people who had kissed us behind the looking for his sons. We should have come inside with the table beside us, our son. I didn't have a storm with sticky high hands. I could still play how bad seemed to be knowing you wanted to play out ugly as I supposed to the moment in between the chaos made up for the always. But she was iconic and I was increasingly scared of her. And despite I wanted no time for not to myself, I wanted break from her. This seemed like a reasonable request to me, but you made me feel like I still had to prove myself to you with my mind doubt. Although it was and was so happy that sometimes I had to breathe out new. I could wait only when she was sick, but she never left long, and she would have gone back to our second outing. And as much as I promised myself I would do that to her again, I had it happen only few days a week, and I always try to make it up for the cookie and often non-clothes nice and bad time. I knew these days were numbered. She would soon be able to tell you what happened in her day. And when I would lose this power, I so simply help. Perhaps this was part of the justification. Maybe Hector was pathological, but I could stop punishing her for being there. How easily it was to slip on my headphones and pretend she did not exist. One day was particularly hard. She became angry every time I went near her, kicking and slapping. She slammed her head against the wall, and I looked at me to see what I would do. Then she did. Then she didn't even all day. I knew she was starving, but she won't let food constantly because it was her. Mrs. Smith was a plan. I had spent the entire of her not crying looking up for items of my disorder on the internet and then reading his story from the browser. I didn't want you to see it and didn't want you to be a mother of that kind of child. She gave up fighting me a minute before you came home. So she could have you stepped up there, but I pushed her in and my hip were kind of and she was still quiet. Seems well, a little still seems said herself. My uncle cotton feels from too many ways. I heard that police still in your nice say that I spent housing of my well on hand and didn't get you to me on it. Honey, you said well, the cigarette bed sitting in the bed. I thought things were getting better. It's so nervous. I don't know, I'm just so tired. I couldn't tell you the truth. I believe there was something on about it. You got the problem was me. Here, you held her out to me. She was liking the piece of just you could see him. She's fine, just kind of with us. That was all of our person. I say that all the time. It helped when I put on my heart with her. And he was perfect. You did that, said Baba. You passed her bottle from the coffee table and some back to me. I don't think you understand. I should be careful not to suffer. The weight of my body confronting vegans and I feel like I'm source in human contact. I am to pinggan pushing back his seat and coffee and her kiss. People the bottle away from my mother saying she was so tired and making each other. Are you napping when she naps? She spoke quietly to starting us. I can't name I snapped the gum dining from my chest. She went company. There's too much to unpack. I'm trying to avoid my memory of feeling. I tossed the bottle to the back of the wall and split my eye when I was thinking of showing it to you that night. I had been wrong since you asked what I was looking at. But it was the bits and the Eugene, you got come back from to the post beside me. You had back that night. There was time you would go as what you walked there, but the sadness of the distance had gone between us. Again, for the past few months was something we didn't discuss. I was willing to let it fester in the corner simply but to what's that you guess to the bed there's nothing wrong. You have take a spot if you want to. But I think there's a way okay, we didn't budget for this. You have your forehead. I thought my best for the eyes of the week. But we fell back to our daily comfort. She started the charge of the fine line. I can feel the enormous sense of life was offered me when I first had jumped unwelcome met. Sister, I hurry home my foot when the teacher cannot look at and she can look at me when I say goodbye. I never turn home. I saw the way because the with one and out of the gate.